Hello and welcome to my new setup. If you're new here, my name is Justin and I film weekly videos where I go through my budgeting process. I get paid bi-weekly, so I get paid every 2 weeks. I got paid last week. I get paid again next week. So in the weeks where I don't get paid, I make budget videos, but sometimes they're not with allocating funds. So this week, I don't have any extra income. So we're just going to be focused on a February closeout video. But like I said in my intro, this is my new setup. The desk that I have is a temporary desk. It's just kind of a test of the size that I need to do what I'm trying to do. But as you can see behind me, that is my kitchen. That's the bar, and I'm really in the way, but that's the bar that I did all of my work from for the last 3 years. As you can see, those bar stools don't have much back support. They're not very ergonomic. The island is really crammed. It's deep, but it's not very spacious left to right. So what I did was I've been eyeing a desk for a while. Not quite sure what size I need or what size I want to get. I do know that I want to have the ability to have both of my monitors and both of my computers set up. Currently, well, prior to this setup that I have now, when I was working at my bar, my kitchen island there, I would have my monitors set up and then my laptop would be on my left. I didn't really have much space on my right to do anything. And so when I was doing stuff on my personal laptop, I would have to disconnect everything that was going to my work laptop docking station and connect it into my personal laptop. Well, that got really frustrating and annoying to have to do every time. So I've been looking at alternatives, mainly a larger desk that has space on both sides and allows me to set up both computers. So I'll put up a picture of my setup as it is now. As you can see, I have just a cheap Walmart temporary 6-foot 72-inch by 31 or 32-inch and 29-inch high, basically picnic table is what I can describe it as. It folds, so it folds to about 3 feet. So it's very user friendly in terms of like moving it around if I need to. But it was $54 at Walmart. I was looking at desk chairs because moving over here, I needed a desk chair. And in the same aisle was this table. And I was like, oh, well, I'm torn between getting a 73-inch table, a 73-inch desk, or an 80-inch desk. And when I saw this at 72-inch, I was like, I'm just going to get this, set everything up, and see if it's enough space. As you saw in my picture, there is definitely enough space on both sides for a laptop. But my monitors are 24-inch right now, and I'm looking down the road at upgrading them probably to 32-inch. I think 32-inch is the largest I'll go. I could go to 27-inch, but really it doesn't give me much more real estate screen-wise because I have 24-inch monitors. So what I'm concerned about is if I get 32-inch monitors, I don't think that a 72-inch table is going to give me enough space on the left and right to put both laptops up without being super crammed. So what this test told me or showed me is that an 80-inch is probably what I need. And now I just need to decide, do I want to get a 80-inch standard desk or an 80-inch sit stand? The difference is obviously more expensive for the sit stand. I think I have one priced on Amazon for like $230, which is not that bad. But I can find an 80-inch standard table or desk for like $130. So it's about $100 difference. I do like to have the option to stand if I need to. Most of the time I sit, but knowing that I can stand would be great. So more than likely I'll probably get that. But now, because I have a table that's working, what I can do is I can start budgeting for that sit stand desk. And that's my intent. In the next couple weeks, I will be purchasing that sit stand desk. I will be a jerk and I will return this table and get my money back. So that'll be $54 back into my budget for spending on that table. And then the next thing I'll budget for in terms of like desk setup is going to be 32-inch monitors, which each run about $130. So about $250, $260 for a pair. No, I haven't put my car on the back burner, but I do not have, I don't have to pay off my car early. I want to, but I am starting to feel the effects in my back and shoulders of an improper setup or desk. As you can see, it's really wobbly. So yeah, I definitely need a desk. I think I don't know if I actually in a video let everybody know, but I did buy a KVM switch. I was talking about buying one. And for those not familiar, a KVM switch is basically you press one button and it changes all of your stuff between your laptops. So all the displays, the mouse, the keyboard, the microphone will switch being usable to each of the laptops, depending on which one you switch to. I did last weekend, I bought a KVM switch. It was like $280. I did a lot of research, a couple days worth of research, and apparently I didn't do enough research because USB-C ports are not all created the same. The KVM switch that I got requires a USB-C connection, which both of my laptops, work and personal, have. The difference is my personal laptop is 5 years old, and unknown to me, the USB-C port on my personal laptop doesn't allow display output, meaning I can't have monitors hooked up through that port, which means I need to get a different kind of KVM switch that does USB and HDMI. So I bought a different KVM switch and a docking station for my personal laptop. Those are on the way. I have returned the original KVM switch to Amazon for a refund. So in the next couple of days, I'll have my new KVM switch. I'm hoping that one works. So we'll test it out and I'll know right away if it works, and all will be right in the world. So yeah, this is going to be my new setup. This is going to be my new background moving forward, unless I upgrade to a 2-bedroom, and then I'll just have the office in the background will be whatever wall is behind me. So with that said, this video is going to be a February closeout video. We'll go over my spending, we'll go over my income for the month of February, kind of talk about all the things associated with that. So I'm going to put myself in the top left corner, and we'll go to my spending breakdown. So as you can see, I spent a total of $34.08 and 36 cents in the month of February. As always, the largest expense is my rent. I spent $19.22.51. A little over 50% of my expenses is my rent. And then everything else is just, this technology, that's the KVM switch that I bought and returned. The new setup cost me, I think, like $100. It was like $190. So it was about $100. Yeah. I actually don't remember how much it was, but it was definitely cheaper. I think it was like $70 or $80. So maybe like $200 in total. So it'll be nice to have $70 to go back into my budget. This month in February, I started having to pay my car payment again. Definitely not $600 like it used to be. So it's $250. And then I've got my car insurance at $130, my internet about $100. Dining out, this is like really variable depending on how much I feel like going out. It's a little bit higher than normal, only because remember in February, I didn't go get groceries until like 2.5 weeks into the month. So I didn't need to spend a lot on groceries, but I did end up spending more on eating out because I didn't feel like cooking the things that I had, and I also didn't apparently feel like going to get groceries. This $88, I don't remember what that was. I think at Walmart. Oh, that was, I actually don't remember what that was. It was household items. So yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Dog food, it's about $90, give or take. And then also I had to pay a little bit for federal taxes. I owed a little bit on federal taxes in this year. And my cell phone, $75. That's pretty standard. My storage, $72, pretty standard. This is my groceries. I spent $70 on groceries. Again, I only needed a couple weeks worth of food. I usually budget $200. Power, in the winter, my power consumption is pretty low. $50 to $60 is pretty standard. Gas, $46, which was higher than I expected it to be. But because I don't buy gas very often, I might buy gas once a month maybe. Gas prices were much more expensive than they were the last time I purchased gas. So it was about $50 to fill up the tank of the Jetta. And then discretionary, this is, I had to order some transcripts, official transcripts for my master's degree. I'm going to be going back to school for data analytics. I had to get both of my transcripts from undergrad and graduate school sent to that school. And then I have this game that I've been playing. I haven't played it in a while, but the ads were annoying me. So I paid $4 to get rid of the ads. And then Spotify is $13, Ring is $11, and Netflix is $8, which I think this is going to be going up to $8 even, or $7.99, something like that. So as you can see, I have a lot of little bills. The majority of my bills are my rent and my car, and then everything else is basically $100 or less. So that's basically the spending side. My income was mainly paychecks. Normally I do paychecks and have side hustles. For February, I kind of took a break from side hustles. I will be picking those back up in March, so we'll see a little bit more income coming in from that. But I also got $8.11 from interest and cash back and 20 cents in dividends. That dividend stuff goes into my FSA account. I don't know what I have in there that gets me dividends, but 20 cents is 20 cents, free money. So all in, I had $36.77 and 39 cents in income. I spent $34.0836, which means I was on the positive side, about $270 of net income, which a year ago I would have jumped over the moon to see that. So yeah, overall, I was under budget overall, even with spending money on technology, which is not something I normally do. I am under what I spent. I'm under what I brought in. So I'm pretty happy with that. I do want to jump over to my graph that I built because I got rid of my Monarch, and this is the type of graph that was in Monarch that I don't get in YNAB. So as you can see, this is comparing February spending expenses to last year, February, and February expenses to January expenses. So as you can see, February 2024, I spent $38.87.10 by the end of the month. I'm under that by almost $400. So I'm spending less than I did last year in the same month. And last year had an extra day because it was a leap year. I did spend more than I did in January, mainly because of the technology stuff that I bought and my car payment. So, really without those, pretty much a standard in line with January. So, yeah, in terms of my spending, I'm not concerned with where I'm at. With using YNAB, having a system in place, I don't feel constricted to not buying things like my new setup. All the technology that I bought, in months and years past, I would have just done without, because I wouldn't have been able to figure out where that money was going to come from, mainly because I didn't have any extra money to deal with. YNAB has allowed me to prioritize things that are important to me and really not spend that money until I have it figured out where it's going to come from. So I'm proud of where I'm heading. I can't wait to see where I'm at next year. But yeah, that is basically this video. So next week, like I said, I get paid my regular paycheck. It's going to be a little bit more of a paycheck than my usual paycheck. And that's because I should be getting my back pay specialty assignment pay. And I'm hoping by my next paycheck, so either my second paycheck in March or my first paycheck in April, I will be in the new role, which will come with a 5% raise, and then I'll get additional money temporarily. So all of the things for technology will be paid for using a lot of that stuff, and then it'll be back to paying my car. So with that, we'll see you in the next video.